Today it's 4 ways to cross-cut oak plywood without splinters. Method number 1, you can build a sled for your table saw and then make sure you cover the whole thing, put the blade down, and then as the machine is running, just raise the blade through this cutting surface, cut through, and you'll have basically a zero clearance insert and there'll be no chipping. Perfect. So it'll go something like this. Set up your mark. Make sure it's flat, tight. No chipping, very little. The second method with the table saw is to pre-score the cut. And by that, I mean you just barely have that blade sticking out. See that? Just barely. You can set your fence to the desired width. And this is great for guys who don't want to make a sled, or all I have on the job site is a regular table saw. Nice and slow, just scoring the surface. And then make a second cut with the blade elevated above the surface. So that pre-score really did the job, and then cut all the way through. This obviously means you have 2 steps to make, but really you get an awesome edge, no splintering at all. The other thing that you want to be mindful of is you can use a special blade, a blade that maybe has a negative rake on it. And by negative, I mean if you were to follow the face of the tooth through, it would fall somewhere in front of the center of the blade. So keep that in mind. Here's the third method. This method might not be for you if you don't have a $10,000 panel saw inside your shop. The way that this tool works is that there's a small scoring blade here in front of the actual cutting blade. And this small scoring blade counter-rotates compared to the larger blade. And so this guy is turning in this direction, whereas this larger blade turns towards the operator. Obviously, once again, you just want to barely have this blade above the surface of the table. It's just going to score the backside. In all of these methods, you definitely want to have the good side of the plywood up. The bad side is always going to be down. I'm going to give this a cut, demonstrate it, and then we'll have a look. And now for the last method, fourth method. That's a track saw. And actually, I gotta be honest, I like the track saw. It's portable. This one happens to have a vacuum attached to it. It turns on automatically when I run the saw, so I really love it. I know lots of guys are actually using them on site. There's no need to unload a table saw, fiddle around with that business. And this particular brand has lots of attachments to make repetitive cuts simple. So I want to show you a few things about this saw. First of all, it's got this splinter guard up front here, which you can drop down to the top of the wood that you're cutting so that it splinters less on top as well. So I'm just going to set it into its track, lower that, tighten that up. And what's going to happen here is I'm going to run it along this track, and this blade is going to come down and cut through the wood. I'm going to set it up in the start location, which is not cutting. And I'm going to make sure that the hose and all that are out of the way. And I've got it clamped down. Like I can't figure out why a guy wouldn't clamp that down. It just makes it a whole lot safer and easier. I'm going to push the thumb lock up, pull the trigger, plunge it, and then proceed into the cut. There it is. Honestly, probably the best cut out of all the methods. That's it.